It's official, it's confirmed, the first country we know from the Walking Dead universe that there is no one left. Not any group, not any individual alive in this apocalypse today. Now with around 12 or 13 years of the apocalypse, we imagine that in every corner of the world there are at least some little group, some person. But there's now officially a country that really has no one, and this generates concern from the path of the Walking Dead, which had been set in another series. In this video you will understand everything about it, an important revelation that changed directions, and if you want to know, stay here and let's go. Hello everyone watching this beautiful channel, my name is João Victor and I'm back to talk about the Walking Dead universe again, because we have a very important update about the Walking Dead universe. Now they are showing Daryl's spin-off. It set some important points. Along with that we have a very important new information that you can even connect with some information from the Rick spin-off, The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. I will explain about it, but first don't forget to check the like in this video, it's very important. Also, if you like more contents about the Walking Dead universe, don't forget to subscribe here. And as I used to say in all my videos for the newcomers, thank you for your patience with my English. This is not my native language, but I'm trying to keep improving it, and let's go. The Walking Dead, this TV show that we know and talk about so much here on the channel. It started in 2010 in real world. And in the story of the series, if you don't know, the apocalypse of The Walking Dead began in August of 2010. This is the month in the story, and since it started we have many statistics, many points that we explain here on the channel. One of them is even a recent video that I made, which goes very much against this information that I'm going to bring here. It's about how many survivors were left in the world after the beginning of the outbreak. Remembering that the current world that we live in real life at the time this video is being recorded, it has around 8 billion people, and at the time The Walking Dead began, from the series story 2010, it had 7 billion, but even so, the absurd number. And so, that video was controversial because a lot of people commented on different data and information. Some people saying that there must be more than 100 million people in the world of The Walking Dead. Others saying even much more, saying that there are 200, 300 million people. And some even exaggerating, saying that there are billions. And I can confirm to you in this video, I can say, I very much doubt that it will reach a billion living people in this world of The Walking Dead. Even though we have countries like India and China, which are the largest populations in the world, I don't believe it will reach that number. The United States itself must have a maximum number of 2 million people still alive there. If you take India and China, for example, whose population is 4 or 5 times larger than the United States, you can say that each one has 10 million, 20 million or most survivors. With this, I continue with the point that at most there are 50 million in this world. If you push too much, I can say it reaches the maximum number of 70 or 80 million people. But why am I reminding the world population of survivors about this? Because there are countries that have already been shown in the Walking Dead universe and that we know that have survivors, like in the United States, Mexico, which was shown in Fear the Walking Dead. There are other groups still, people who stayed there. In Tales of the Walking Dead, we also have information that there are survivors in Canada. We never saw it, but there it is. Through Daryl's spinoff, even though he left France with Carol in the second season and will not return there were still survivors in the country, a lot of people. There are more like communities, including rural communities. But then we arrive in the famous England, the place where the first episode of The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, takes place in the season 3. And here is presented to us that England survived the beginning of the outbreak. They had bases, they had curfews, but it is revealed in the first episode through Julian, who is the only Englishman we know there, that all the other Englishmen died. All the other people in England died, including not only the capital, London. Daryl and Carol passed through the countryside at the beginning of the episode, and yeah, it was confirmed by behind-the-scenes information, by the actor himself who played Julian, by the showrunner himself, Dave Zabel, by other producers, that Julian really was the last living Englishman, the last person from that country. And you can say, no, it's not possible that there was no one anywhere. Well, if this production information is not enough for you, here comes the point. In this episode 1 of the 3rd season of Daryl Dixon, after deciding to leave there because Julian was too afraid, he helps Daryl and Carol, but in the boat he ends up dying there in high seas. But from the moment he left English soil, it was official, there's no longer any survivor in England. And that's me talking, it's a theory that I made in this video, it's not me who's talking. The producers themselves confirmed that he was the last, and we already have articles with information from the producers and behind the scenes that make it official official. For example, Screen Rant, the website, covered about it, and they tell England officially has no survivors on The Walking Dead. Then they tell how it happened, which is what I just talked about here, and yeah, it's official. And here comes the dots that even connect with the issue of The Ones Who Live, the Rick's spin-off. Let's talk about the first bad and worrying part for survival in this apocalypse. Then we talk about the good part. The bad part, complicated part of this story is that it confirms a revelation that we had in The Ones Who Live, and that in several places was already being talked about in The Walking Dead, that humanity may end soon in this universe. Who reveals this is Major General Bill, the supreme leader of the CRM, the guy who, even though he appeared little, is responsible for the highest number of deaths in the universe of The Walking Dead. He is responsible for hundreds of thousands of deaths. This is more than 200,000. Apart from the ones we don't know, he's at the top of the ranking, and he's one of the persons that know most about this universe of The Walking Dead, about many countries. He hasn't been revealed so much, you know, about the information he had, but the proof of that is that in his conversation with Rick in the last episode of The Ones Who Live, he reveals that he has CRM infiltrators in communities around the world, which even continues to this day, even after Rick eliminated him and the evil group that was on his side. But he talks about the threats and the justification for why he wants to destroy communities and gather supplies, which is a bad attitude, but it's real information as well. He tells and shows Rick some photos about the threat of gigantic herds of millions of zombies that are roaming around the United States and migrating. We had seen one of those herds at the beginning of the season 1 of The Ones Who Live, and you can say that a herd like this can simply decimate Philadelphia, which has 200,000 people and a lot of military, can finish them off. They would not have the military power to be able to stop so many zombies. Apart from the revelations that Major General Bill also brings about the lack of water, lack of food, that the soils are no longer fertile to produce. He says that according to their research data and the information they had about the whole world and other things, humanity can have less than 14 years of survival. If they don't stop it, the world will end. And then you get this information from England we had in Daryl's spinoff, this country that survived at the beginning of the outbreak. And also we had Julian's justification in this spinoff that is very superficial, but he said that the groups split, people were killing each other there in England, and no one could leave the country. But you can ask, that's the cause everyone died. It's very likely that in addition to the beef between the survivors there in England, what increased at this point was the lack of resource and gigantic herds of zombies. And look, that's exactly what the first episode of Daryl's third season showed us. We see them trapped in a building there in England because an ocean of dead people occupied the street, a herd that we didn't even imagine would emerge, but that can be very much framed with Major General Bill's own speech. Their research, we saw the photos about the herds in the United States, but all over the world it can be the same way. One of the reasons England is destroyed now, along with the lack of supplies and other things, is about the zombies, the gigantic herd. It's the first official country that has actually fallen. That's the bad news, right? For the survivors there. For us to watch, it's even interesting to see a path like this. This makes me wonder if they will continue to show other countries in the world that were really devastated, that everything ended because of these problems that Major General Bill himself had talked about. In fact, I always say, in the same way that many people imagine that in India and China there may be many survivors, in the same way you can imagine we saw some herds of millions of zombies in the United States. You can imagine these herds in China and India. There's no community that can survive something like this. I think there are survivors in China and India in this universe, but there would even be the possibility that one of these countries would have no one else, because the zombies took it and the supplies ran out. And these problems that Major General Bill revealed probably prevailed in China and India, but on a much higher level, because in the same way that we have the higher population, the problems are also bigger. The zombies are bigger. Yeah, we have a bad side and a good side about this. That's the problematic side of the story, which for us who watch it, it's cool. It's just trouble for the survivors. But the good side of this issue of England for the survivors is that we have a country that is completely abandoned, with no one, but that can be a goldmine of supplies. It's the same principle that Major General Bill said to Rick in The Ones Who Live. His principle was to destroy all the communities, kill 100,000 people, kill a lot of people to get their supplies, and concentrate on Philadelphia to live longer and try to repopulate the world. It's a stupid idea, completely evil and selfish, but here it will be the same idea but without the evil part. As it is confirmed that there is no one else alive in England, no group of survivors and anything else, no one will have to get to destroy the community, kill someone and everything else like Major General Bill and CRM did. Rick's own group, the good people from the United States, from the Commonwealth, from Philadelphia itself, can go to England, pay a visit there and collect supplies, to visit the communities that had and are now destroyed, other places, and collect as many supplies as possible for that place, to make the communities in the United States even stronger. In the series, it is proven that there's a technology to do this now. Rick and Michonne are probably now on the Council of Philadelphia. They managed to take down the bad part of the CRM, but there are still military personnel there, helicopters, equipment. Like, when Daryl and Carol get back to home, they can easily take advantage of such information, take the helicopters or especially planes that the CRM must have, and pay a visit to England, following Major General Bill's plan, but without the evil part. They won't be the ones who killed everyone. The people are already dead, so just take advantage and get the supplies. Comment there what you think about this information. Like, this third season of Daryl Dixon is revealing about many points from the Walking Dead universe. I will keep telling here, explaining, so be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news. Don't forget to check the like button in this video, it helps me a lot with the promotion. Thank you for watching this video, I'll be back soon, and bye!